Hi, this is Crypto Digital. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Droid X2 smartphone. Well, first of all, it's made by Motorola. I got it a couple months ago. I'm very pleased with it. I highly recommend it. It's on Verizon. It's got a dual-core Tegra 2 NVIDIA processor, system on a chip. Well, basically, you can turn it on with the on button up here or the home button. So I'm going to turn it on. Get the lock screen. Then if you swipe across, you get the home screen. And you see I have the honeycomb clock widget there. I've got the Google search on the top with voice search as well. I've got the battery meter. It's on 80%. Let me touch on the battery for a minute. The battery is very good on this phone. It's lasting me, with moderate to heavy use, the battery on this phone, one charge is lasting me about, I would say, 2 to 3 days. So that's great. That's great for a smartphone. This is 3G. This is not 4G. You get 2 gigabytes of data with Verizon for $30 a month. So that's great. So let's see what we have here. Well, got the time, got the battery meter, and you got the Wi-Fi signal strength and the cellular signal strength. Down here, I've got YouTube. See, I've customized this a little bit. So, I've got the honeycomb clock. I've got the battery widget. It's down to 80%. Got the YouTube link, Evernote, email, Gmail. Then you've got the phone, you've got the camera, you've got the browser, and you've got the apps, the app tray. So I'm going to open up the app tray. That's your apps. And you can swipe up, down, and up. And they slide across like that. Okay, a lot of apps. It came with a lot of apps. Not sure if you can uninstall apps. I haven't tried. Comes with 8 gigabytes, I believe, of internal storage. So it's not really a big problem that there are a lot of apps, but you could probably uninstall some of them at least, if not all. So yeah. Got the Google search with Google voice search on the top there. Then I want to show you my other home screens. So, got my games. Right now, Contract Killer and Battlefield 2, I believe it is, HD, are the ones that I have there. It came with Need for Speed Shift. That's down there in the corner. And up here is the music player. So, media player. Then it's got gallery, apps, rich location. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, those came with it, so I'll figure out what that is. Then I've got the world clock. And as you can see, it's 1:04 now, and it tells you your city and the date. But over here, if you tap there, you can program it to tell you the time in another city. So that's a nice feature of the world clock. That widget came with the phone. A lot of Motorola widgets came with the phone. See, I've got the weather here in the middle, and I've got the quick tips on the bottom, Android, with Andy over there on the side. Then over here, we've got the market, and we've got the news on the top. So that's great. So on the other side of my home screens, I've got the calendar, and I've got some apps on the bottom, messaging, maps, navigation, and social networks. So that's good. Over here, we've got the quick settings, which are really useful. because you can toggle Wi-Fi on and off up there. See, it's on right now. You can toggle that on and off depending on if you're not in a Wi-Fi area that you're using. You turn it off, and it saves battery life because it doesn't keep querying for a Wi-Fi connection. So that's a great feature. And otherwise, there's airplane mode. If you're on an airplane, there's Bluetooth on and off. And there's something that looks like a satellite there. I'm not sure what that is, but it's kind of hard to get this in the camera because the phone is very bright. But, you know, what can you do? Then here it tells you, with a little meter, tells you how much of your data you've used for the month out of my 2 gigabytes. So basically, I've used, because I usually use Wi-Fi, I've only used 0.216 gigabytes. So I've got a lot left, because I'm usually within a Wi-Fi hotspot. Then I've got my accounts, my task manager, and my help center. Then all the way to the left, I've got my calendar. And what you can do with this calendar widget and a lot of the other widgets as well is you can resize it. See, it's kind of small, so let's say I want it bigger. Hold down on it, and then pull out the corner there, and it gets bigger. Watch, I'll make it even bigger. Top corner, make it take the whole screen. Make it take less of the screen. So as you see, you can resize widgets. It's kind of like honeycomb. So that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. It doesn't work with the Android widgets. It works with the Motorola widgets. So it has to be a Motorola widget in order to do that. I believe all, if not all, then most Android widgets do not support resizing on this phone. So that's but the Motorola widgets mostly do, so that's a good thing. Other than that, I'll show you what Motorola widgets come with this. I won't show you the Android widgets because those are standard on all on most Android phones, if not all. So, but the Motorola widgets include airplane toggle, Bluetooth toggle, bookmarks widget, calendar, contact, quick tasks, date and time, gallery, GPS toggle, and a whole lot more. Weather, sticky note, world clock, social networking. I mean, there's a bunch here, so that's great. Down here you've got your physical buttons. You've got search, back, home, and menu. The menu gives you a contextual menu of whatever program you happen to be in, I believe. So that's what that is. And if you're on the home screen, it gives you add or wallpaper or profiles, manage apps, settings, or more. Click on more, you get search and notification. So that's about it. Let me just say that the battery life is great on this phone. I believe I said that already, but I'm going to say it again. The battery life is like 2 to 3 days, and you're not going to get battery life like that with a 4G device, because 4G eats up battery like crazy. So that's part of, the reason that you might go for this phone. The back, we've got an 8.0 megapixel camera with LED flash on the back. We've got the Motorola symbol in the middle, and underneath that it says Droid X2, Verizon, and on the side with Google. There's no front-facing camera on this phone. However, there is obviously a rear-facing camera, as I just mentioned. There's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. There is the speaker on the top there with the Motorola brand name and underneath it, Verizon on the bottom, the buttons. One thing that is great about this phone, I have to mention it, the HDMI port. You can mirror this phone on your HD TV. Doesn't matter if it's a 60-inch plasma TV. You know, it doesn't have to be like a 32-inch or a computer monitor. It could be a 60-inch plasma, and you will see full screen what you're seeing on this phone on your TV. So that's a great, great feature. It's got the USB port for charging, the volume rocker over here, and that's it. I mean, it's got the battery in there. Let's go over the specs. Now, it's a 1 gigahertz NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual-core processor. It's got a micro SDHC card inside, 8 gigabytes. I believe, yes, expandable. I'm reading the specs here on the side. Expandable to 32 gigabytes. So that's great. That is really good. 32 gigabytes. Expandable to 32 gigabytes. 4.3-inch display, nice and large. Lots of room. As you can see. It's a lot bigger than my other phone that I had, which was 3.2 inches. This is 4.3 inches. So that's pretty good. Yeah. So that's about it. Let me see if I missed anything. Well, it's 720p HD, the video recording. So the back camera takes 720p video. That's no joke. That's high definition, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So oh, one other thing that I forgot to mention is the dock, which, you know, I had to get the dock because the dock turns it into a whole new device. Check this out. I'm going to slide it into the dock, and all of a sudden turns into an alarm clock, okay, with all kinds of features like the weather down here. If I click on the weather, gives you a detailed forecast of the entire week. It's bright because it's not going to come out very well, but yeah, it's hot, trust me. Then if I close up the alarm clock, I've got my home screens in landscape mode. So that's something a phone won't do without a dock. You know, most phones, if they don't have a slide-out keyboard, they will not go into landscape mode when you turn the phone sideways on the home screen. If you're in the browser, it'll probably turn sideways, but it will not if you're in the home screen. So it's kind of hot. It resizes and repositions everything on the screen so that it can fit into landscape. And then you see I've got all my home screens in landscape. So that's something really cool. The speakers on this are pretty good too. The speakers are, I don't know if they would fill a room or, you know, support like a party, but as far as just if you're watching YouTube or whatever, without too much ambient noise, you will have no problem. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so that's about it. The dock comes with a little holder here to hold it up in place, and then it's got the HDMI port on the dock and the USB port for charging on the dock. So you can hook it up to the dock and hook it up to the TV, and you could have it sitting there next to the TV. Yeah, so that's a good thing. And you can obviously charge it through the dock. And that's about it. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Take care until next time. This is Crypto Digital.